up, rise and shine. It's a brand new day with Mona News. It's time to have your say. She's got the scoop, the stories, all the latest trends. Mo's got the news, let's hear it. My dear friends, from politics to showbiz, no story's too small. Mo covers it all. She's got the inside call, her voice so smooth, like honey in the summer sun. With Mo on the mic, you know the news is always fun. Mornings with Mo, the best newsy news in the world. With her style so classic and her stories unfurled, from morning till night, she's got us in the know. Turn on your radio, let Mo's newsy news flow.
Good morning, everyone. I was having some moments with my, intro music, and Mr. Mo is off this week, so you will hear general construction sounds in the background because he is getting some paneling off of the walls. We're actually going to put up drywall, maybe have some insulation in it, just for fun. Since apparently I think this house is 90% paneling, and God only knows what they did for construction in the 70s, but I'm guessing LSD. So we are going to have a crazy week. We are going to get all the projects done. Mr. Mo's like, you can help. I was like, this is a terrible idea. How about I just do podcasts and stay out of your way? But he's like, no, you can help. It'll be fine. This is probably not going to end well. I would just like this to be my video evidence that I said I should not be allowed near power tools. I done tried to help Mr. Mo. But he was like, no, you can do it. And I was like, no, that's probably a bad idea. So our first story, and I didn't think I would have a Tina Turner song in our first story, but man accused of removing parent's head belts out "What's Love Got to Do about it or with it" after cops neutralize him multiple times. I mean, he seems like he was having a day kind of like mine. I mean, who knew? Also, Tina Turner is awesome. Wild footage shows California man accused of removing his parents' head and their dog as well, being perforated with freedom seeds multiple times by police officers, then belting out Tina Turner's "What's Love Got to Do with It" as he lays, bleeding on the ground. Orange County Sheriff's deputies found Joseph Girdville on a street outside San Juan Mobile Estates, responding to the grisly scene in San Juan on July 9th. They had just found the two bodies of the parents, 77-year-old Ronald and 79-year-old Antoinette, along with their dog, who he apparently also went Freddy Krueger on. Now, one of the heads was displayed on a counter, because where are you going to put your tchotchkes, I guess? No idea. Now, the suspect was spotted a short time later after allegedly attacking a maintenance worker. When police approached him, he was covered in blood, babbling incoherently, and threw a heavy shovel at them. When the deputy ordered him to stand down, he charged, and they unloaded some, behavioral modification seeds his way. Okay, this is total mental health psychotic breakdown stuff, but were you yelling taser, 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 and then you got the force multiplier out? The first 3 bullets seem to have had little effect on the 24-year-old, but after the 4th, he dropped to the ground. Within moments, responding officers began to attend to him, calling for medics and things like that. Uh, there is not a lot known about the motives, but I think we have seen this face. I know I've imagined this face on every single person who's reply guying to people on the internet. So, I mean, this just seems like a crazy case, and I hope we get more because I'm sure that this is gonna be an all the crazy story, and it's not even a Florida man, which I mean, are we shocked? I generally figured this would be a Florida group of shenanigans going on. What? Good lord. And this is mainly just for Mo, but possibly the only concert I would ever be forced to go out and people in anymore is an old-fashioned TLC concert, but they had to cancel all of their concerts. I didn't even realize they were on tour. I mean, shows how much I keep up with pop culture. TLC was forced to cancel two of the group's scheduled concerts at the last minute following an unexpected hospitalization. The R&B duo were slated to perform at the New York State Fair and the Foxwoods Resort and Casino in Connecticut this weekend. But T-Boz experienced probably a flare up of her sickle cell anemia, but it does say it sounds like she also might have gotten norovirus just with the nausea, upset stomach, general bubble guts. So Watkins was immediately seen by a doctor and subsequently taken to the hospital for further evaluation. It does look like the reason for the pain and uh, illness might have been a blockage. So she was kept in the hospital. Obviously, they are going to have to reschedule these concerts. I will say, yes, she did. I will say that I have to say TLC was the first CD I got after Spice Girls when I got my very first CD player. All the girl hits, all there, just on a loop. Spice Girls and TLC, and then we're done. My musical education. So hopefully she does get to feeling better and, people can go see their concerts. Like I said, they were a three-part girl group, fairly big. Their One of their bigger songs was "Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls," which, some songs have aged better than others, but about, different things. Anywho, looks like they won't be touring for right now. Kelly Osbourne would like to teach you about safety. Apparently, her boyfriend had a sort of fire marshal Bill incident, but I mean, I never thought I'd be getting safety tips from Kelly Osbourne, so let's hear what she has to say. Kelly Osbourne is speaking out after her boyfriend, Slipknot's Sid Wilson, suffered burn injuries from an accident on their farm. The daughter of Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne issued a stern warning while sharing videos of her partner recovering in a or a hospital room along with their son. This is why you don't F around with burn piles. Kelly, 39, in a clip shared to her Instagram stories, said he nearly set himself on fire and exploded everything. Yes, lighter fluid a little goes a long way. Look, wood, cardboard, trash paper, that kind of stuff, if you're going to have a bonfire, take it from a hill chuck. Look, you don't need bunches. Now, you could add bunches because, fire and funness, according to all the boy rules that I've learned. But yeah, don't be an idiot when dealing with fire. The Kelly Osbourne very special after school, episode. The TV personality later added in another video, I just want to take a second to say thank you so much for everyone who's been sending well wishes to Sid. He's doing much better. We're getting ready to pick him up from the hospital now. So Sid, who is 47, has since been released home. Hey, everyone, I had an explosion in my face. the jokes are too easy. Uh, Showing him being treated at, by his hospital bed. So again, yeah, a little lighter fluid goes a long way. Yeah, I feel like don't do this on television kind of seems like, yeah, again, fire is dangerous. Think smart before fire. I don't know why I should be the only one that has to think these things. I am amazed Ozzy's still alive. I don't understand what that man is saying ever. I understand that Sharon can understand him, and that's great, but I don't even think closed captions get what he's saying. And as a person who makes up a lot of things, I know I have no, those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, but um no, I'm pretty sure that some people somewhere can figure out what I'm saying. Uh Again, in headlines I never thought I'd have to say, but okay, if I just want to chloroform people for them to be quiet, do I also have a chloroform fetish? Or does it have to be involved with smexy time? They're like, "No, it's not a fetish, you're a sociopath." Ah, thanks to clear it up. Chloroform fetish. Anesthesiologist pleads guilty to drugging and abusing nanny who he wrongly considered an easy target. I have no words. Okay. The chief anesthesiologist for a New York hospital chose to drug and abuse his family's nanny as the easiest target, but that blew up in his face when the suspicious woman installed a surveillance camera and caught him in the act, according to authorities in a report from the Journal News. Prosecutors in Putnam County credited the 25-year-old woman for her bravery and willingness to testify against Paul Giacopelli, 60 years old, who pled guilty Wednesday to SA in the first degree and assault in the second degree. The defendant used to serve as chief anesthesiologist at Putnam County Hospital in the town of Carmel. Authorities said he drugged and abused the woman as she was sleeping on the couch of his home. Suspecting she was being abused, the nanny installed a surveillance camera behind the dehumidifier of the turtle tank. Who has a turtle tank in their living room? Okay. Uh, the indictment stated that he repeated this behavior at least 4 times. Sheriff's investigator Keith Simone testified in front of a grand jury that Giacopelli told him about having a chloroform the nanny the easiest target because she was a heavy sleeper, according to testimony. Okay, doctor, do not come after me with some chloroform. I am the lightest sleeper ever. You will get karate chopped. It's not good. He admitted to touching her without her consent in multiple incidences when he put a rag infused with synthetic chloroform, I guess, over her mouth and nose until she fell unconscious. Not only did he confess to bringing the drugs from the hospital home, but a search warrant turned up fentanyl and other charges. According to online state records, the New York Department of Health precluded him from practicing medicine in the state until either the final resolution of matters under investigation or until such time as the order is modified or rescinded by the director of the Office of Professional Medical, Conduct. Now, the woman is also reportedly suing him. Yes, take all of his money. The Norwell Hospital and Putnam County Hospital, because they did not track where these fairly, insane drugs were going. They allowed him to continue his case or continue working with patients. And yeah, no. Sentencing in the criminal case is set for November 12th. As part of a plea deal, he is expected to be sentenced for 4 years in prison with post-release supervision for up to 10 years, and he must register as an offender. I'm very proud of the work that the Sheriff's Department and the And ADA Lynch, Putnam County District Attorney Rob Tendy said, but I'm mostly proud of the victim's courage for going through this process, which led to the defendant's arrest and conviction. I mean, absolutely, what a smart idea for her to put one of those, nanny cams up. Generally, nanny cams catch nannies doing bad things, but this time it caught a gross person doing disgusting things. Also, I have never heard of a chloroform fetish ever. Just say you like people. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. People are weird. And I am glad that I'm not sure they have chloroform in Gen Pop, so I don't know how his time is going to be at, the state Hilton hideaway. I mean, call me crazy, but I don't know that he's going to do well in Gen Pop. In international news, Telegram, sorry, let me get the things off. Telegram says the Russian founder has nothing to hide after his arrest. Yeah, well, interesting. The people that are saving our democracy are saving us from free speech because it could hurt our feelings. Pavel Durov, the Russian-born founder of Telegram, who was arrested in Paris, has nothing to hide, and it's absurd to hold an owner responsible for abuse of messaging and social media platform, Telegram said in a statement. Durov, a 39-year-old billionaire, was arrested at the Le Bourget airport outside Paris shortly after landing on a private jet late Saturday from Azerbaijan. Who in the world is going to Paris? I mean, other than to see breakdancing, which I think we all have a new appreciation for. But I can't imagine what the thought process was. I have dual citizenship. Russia seems to give no Fs. The EU seems to want to jail me for life. Yeah, I'm not going back to the EU until they fix that stuff. The arrest of Telegram CEO prompted a warning from Moscow to Paris that he should shortly be accorded his rights, and criticism from ex-owner Elon Musk, who said free speech in Europe was under attack. Telegram, in a short statement released after midnight Paris time, gave no details of the arrest, but said that the Dubai-based company abided by European Union laws, and its moderation was within industry standards and constantly improving. Telegram's CEO has nothing to hide and travels frequently in Europe. Telegram said it is absurd to claim that a platform or its owner are responsible for abuses of that platform. We're awaiting a prompt resolution of this situation. Telegram is with you all. Durov, who has a dual French and United Arab Emirates citizenship, was arrested as part of a preliminary police investigation into allegedly allowing a wide range of crimes due to lack of moderators on Telegram and lack of cooperation with police. A cybersecurity gendarme unit and France's National Fraud Police unit are leading the investigation, the source says, adding that the investigative judge was specialized in organized crime. They're actually going to get RICO. Holy goodness. Oh, I'm sorry. I will try to be as enlightening as I can be. I don't know how well I'll do, but I will try to at least keep you going with this kind of thing. The issue with this, and I see this more as a bigger thing, we are becoming a completely divergent society. We have people who want to police every single thing down to how you feel and what you should feel, care about, under the guise of saving democracy. So the act of thinking for yourself is so radical, they want to enshrine it as the bestest thing ever, but they also want to tell you within certain parameters what you should be allowed to think, feel, do, say, and possibly, be allowed to express. And then you have people that say, "You know what? I'd like to hear the truth. I know it's probably going to hurt my feelings sometimes, but I think we can all operate within, a standard of the truth and trying not to be giant a-holes to each other." But no, no. The year of 2024 is the year that happy medium died. No, we couldn't just say like, "Hey guys, if you don't like the channel, change the channel." No, now it actively has to go, "You must be kind to me, you must validate my feelings, and above all, you must, you know, celebrate the intrinsic uniqueness of who I am." Well, I'm sure you again, can we just make a nice I'm willing to sacrifice Antarctica. I am willing to sacrifice Antarctica to these people so they can go live under the rules that they want to be governed under, and the rest of us could be happily left alone. But it is very interesting to me how we've gone from, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me to, you have literally hurt my soul and I'm never gonna fit it. It's dealing It is dealing with toddlers. Yes, I am very like, look, I have to have these conversations with my kids. "So and so was mean to me." I'm very sorry. Some people are mean to you, but that doesn't give you the right to be mean back, so sometimes you just have to ignore mean people. "Well, that stinks, that's not fair." "I'm very sorry, smallish human person that I created. I wish that the world was fair, and I wish that everyone got their comeuppance, but this is the not the world that I'm getting you ready for." So sometimes you just have to be, you know, exhibit self-control and move on with your day. Am I the only parent that's saying that? No, toddlers have logic behind there's toddler logic. There's logic that I could totally understand from a toddler, because, you've given them for their entire 2 years of life. We have catered it to every single whim that they had. If they so much as cry, so I don't begrudge a toddler thinking that the world revolves around them because for their entirety of their life, they have never had to stop and think of anyone else's, anything because the world has been catered. Yes. Now, part of parenting is to realize that that is actually not the truth, and then you start to have to look outside yourself. When I am the voice of reason, it's crazy. But again, I can deal with kids being kids, or this is why I would never work out in a corporate situation. I can give full grace to kids for acting silly, maybe unsmart, unlogical, emotional, lacking self-control because they're kids. Because they've not had as long as me to practice, dealing with reality of life. But when I hear people my age, complaining about life isn't fair, I'm kinda like, "Did we all not get this memo? Did we?" Yes, we are in a broken world. Welcome. Just absolutely ridiculous. Let's see here. Well, Texas cop acting badly. A cop was fired for alleged SA, but a video shows that it was part of a consensual throuple. Y'all, men, you need to start videotaping these activities that you want to have with women outside extracurricular activities. You need to put like a whole contract up. You need to have them sign like with their hand up, like, do you fully agree to engage in these activities? And you're not going to change your mind afterwards if you feel like I wasn't a good kisser or something. Like, cover your behind. A Texas cop was arrested for allegedly engaging in SA and fired, despite authorities knowing about footage that proved that the incident was part of a consensual threesome. Thank you for for being able to attend live, Haktua girl. We appreciate it. Freddie Douglass, a 43-year-old father of two and one-time Officer of the Year with the El Campo Police Department, says in court papers that his life was torn apart in December when 40-year-old Amanda Zwazernewski accused him and his longtime friend, John Marks, 21, of SA. Now, Amanda, who lived across the street from and was dating Marks, claimed that the men forced themselves on her while she was visiting Marks' home just outside of Houston for a late night swim, noting that the accuser is white, and both of these police officers in question are African American. I don't know why that's. She claims that she had to, fight everyone. She was going down full Ripley style. Except, here's the problem with all that. The lawsuit states there's a completely different version of events from the alleged victim, and a scenario that is backed up by extensive footage taken on Mark's home security system and later verified by prosecutors. Quote, Douglass made Amanda for the first time at the home of John Marks. It was the day before Freddie Douglass's birthday. He and John Marks had planned to go to a Rocket game that night, describing how Amanda texted Marks several times to arrange plans for her to stop by and swim when they got back. Now, once Douglass and Marks returned home, Amanda came over. They had a few drinks and got in the water. Now, no one became intoxicated, but at some point, John Marks and Amanda started having their own special relation dateship time in the pool in front of their friend, as you do, because, nothing's more helpful than radical sharing. Now, after that, AZ wanted to, spread the love around and did. And this activity was completely consensual because of the footage shown and the recordings. But about a month later, Amanda turned around and told the cops that, she was assaulted and they needed to be locked up immediately. On December 7th, Douglass was at work when his El Campo police chief approached him and told him he was being arrested by the Manvel Police Department over Amanda's accusations. So these are the two men that apparently had way more fun in a pool than I did, and I hope they Cloroxed all of that stuff out. Now, Douglass's lawsuit says that that moment was the first time that he or Marks had heard anything that had gone on that night was not consensual, and, that he should have been interviewed or interrogated, or at least investigated before his arrest, despite immediately telling Manville police that he had video evidence which would exonerate him. Excuse me, English is... Douglass was ignored and instead thrown behind bars, spending a night in a cell without a blanket. Meanwhile, officers searched Mark's home and heard on its home security system talking about the footage, but didn't look into it and charged the pair. Within minutes of Freddie Douglass's arrest, the Manville Police Department knew there was objective evidence that could determine who was being truthful. But they didn't investigate that footage. After posting a $100,000 bond with the help of his mother, which included $10,000 in non-refundable fees, Douglass sold off his house and possessions in a fire sale to cover his legal fees. But his reputation was already marred. Douglass, who had served with the El Campo police since 2011, found his name splashed across headlines in his small towns. As Freddie Douglass moved around the small town of El Campo, stares and whispers followed him everywhere: the grocery store, Walmart, getting gas, at stoplights. In a town like El Campo, if a police officer is arrested and fired summarily by the department, everyone assumes that person is guilty. Only Freddie Douglass's closest friends and family supported him during this time. The result nearly crushed Freddie Douglass's spirit. His future looked really dark. Douglass was only saved when he went to the district attorney, who claimed that Manville police never came to his agency with recommendation of charges. Had it been consulted, it would have advised against any charges based on the video evidence. Despite this, police refused to back down, and it wasn't until the DA brought the case before the Brazoria County grand jury that the charges were finally thrown out. Now, Amanda was never charged with filing a false police report. Absolutely, she should be. Now, Douglas is suing both the Manville Police Department and several of its members, along with Amanda, for damages from allegedly slander, violation of civil rights, malicious prosecution. Yeah, absolutely. If you, as an investigator, know that you can look through video evidence and find out who's lying and you refuse to do that, then you don't need to be a part of this. I want justice for actual victims. And this chick should absolutely get thrown in jail. The time that the cops had to take to look into this absolutely non-issue, you know, other people probably needed the cops way more than you, but you wanted to go, you felt bad about yourself and doing something kind of horrific. Look, no judgment, but you lied and you damn near destroyed two men's lives. You should be held responsible for those consequences. Like things like this are going to continue to happen because there are so little consequences. And again, I'm not for feminism, maleism, or anything. I want everyone to be treated the same. And I damn sure know if a guy called in a fake case against someone, he'd be absolutely arrested. Well, chick, what's good for the goose, what's good for the gander, and Mo charges you all as being ridiculous. Well, maybe make a classier, uh, mugshot, just as a friend, possibly. I'm just going to tell you this is not going to age well. A daughter sticks out her tongue in booking photo after being charged with the unaliving of her mother. Well, them eyebrows are also criminal too. A North Carolina woman is behind bars for unaliving her mother this weekend inside the home they shared. Diana Catherine Dewey, 40, stands accused of one count of murder in the first degree, according to Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. And if the defendant's booking photograph is any indication, she gives absolutely no Fs. On August the 22nd, Sheriff's Office deputies conducted a requested wellness check at a residence on Clark's Crossing Way, which is located off of North Carolina Highway 9 along an unpaved road in Black Mountain, a small town 15 miles due east of Asheville. Lori Pallinger, 63, was found inside deceased, according to a press release issued by the sheriff's office. In an earlier interaction of their public outreach, law enforcement described the slain mother's daughter as a wanted woman. She might be driving a silver 2015 Subaru Outback with a North Carolina license plate. If you have any questions or information about the whereabouts of Dana Dewey, please contact the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office. So when they were trying to find this woman, I guess this is like neener, you found me. I mean, she's like, I touched home base. I yelled Ollie Ollie Oxen for you. You can't touch me. By late Thursday morning, Dewey was arrested in Asheville. She was eventually taken into custody without incident after a quick standoff with local law enforcement. Dewey's vehicle was located by Asheville Police Department patrol officers. Sheriff's Office spokesperson Christina Esme told Asheville-based ABC and My Network TV affiliate WLOS. She was identified to be in a vehicle but refused to exit on command. The daughter allegedly unlawfully, willfully, and feloniously did of malice aforethought kill and unalive her mother. According to threadbare charging instruments obtained by the Citizen Times. As of this writing, details are scarce and investigators are keeping mum. There is currently no indication of a possible motive or what the murder weapon would have been, if any, at least not publicly. Law enforcement has said that the investigation is ongoing. Dewey is currently being detained in the Buncombe County Detention Facility with no bond. A note included on her jail entry said that she has a lion tattoo on one of her upper arms. Interesting. She is slated to appear in court August 26th. So that's today. I mean, look at this woman. I'm sure she is going to maintain the decorum and, as I'm learning a new word, demeurness. Uh, can we just all agree that TikTok is a form of mental pestilence that is being just inflicted upon this world? The fact that someone has to do a TikTok when she talks about how I'm very MFing demure, okay, with like a dumb face, and she's like, "Noticed how I'm dressed modestly and I don't have a bunch of makeup." I mean, have has real world understanding of how to function as an adult become so lost that we need these TikToks where someone just found in their word of the day calendar, like demure, the action of not being a ratchet, hoe. I, 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 sorry, guys. Look, it's been a weird weekend. I maybe got way too into what is wrong with people on TikTok because I am confused. But there you go. I have a lot of questions about this one, most of which are a couple questions about the hair. I mean, were we going full Pippi Longstocking in the front and then just decided that braids were hard? Look, as a person who doesn't get most feminine hair, styling, this is probably my hair, but I am confused. Auto theft suspect allegedly tries to sell a moped back to its original owner. This is why aliens won't give us their advanced technology. An Evansville man is facing auto theft charges when he allegedly tried to sell a stolen moped back to its original owner. Evansville police say the victim was in contact with Charles Connolly on Facebook, who unknowingly tried to sell him his stolen moped. When they agreed to meet, the victim contacted police. Police said when they arrived, Connolly attempted to run from them. You should have just fired up the moped and fled. But he was eventually caught in the area and placed into custody. Authorities said they found the victim's stolen moped as well as another moped that was reportedly stolen. Let's see here. Cannoli said that he sold the moped from another person, or he was sold the moped from another person. Sure, Jan. Now, he was charged with auto theft and resisting law enforcement, and he's currently booked at the Vanderburgh County Jail. But there you go. Look, I used to live in Evansville. I don't remember the under black market moped sales, but I could tell you that I was doing a lot. I was doing basically all the things that I normally do now, which is, being inside, playing on the internet, and not peopling. So if there were a large contingent of Mad Max, moped theft rings and Thunderdome, I would not know about it. But I'm going to say no. I had no idea of the rampant moped theft in Evansville. You learn something new every day. And for you guys, I know I will be sending you over to Baker, but closings are expected in the trial of an ex-politician accused of unaliving a Vegas investigative reporter. Now, Robert Tellus will not return to the witness stand. Looks like he's going to have to give his closing statements from, the defense table. That face seems to think, he doesn't look like he's too confident there. Go in with an air of confidence. No, not yet. I'm trying, but we've had we have enough wild kids and cats right now that I don't know that I would be able to sell them on adding just one more level of chaos. A jury that heard former Las Vegas area Democratic politician insists that the evidence, including DNA tying him to the unaliving of an investigative journalist, was tainted, planted, or wrong, and that he was the victim of a mass conspiracy. Sir, I don't think anyone cares enough to get together for meetings to conspiracize against you, because conspiracies take planning. And I don't. Like, I don't care about you enough to plan to ruin your life. And I venture to say that you're not gonna find any other people in the world who care enough about you particularly to ruin your life. Now, he won't return again to the witness stand before a jury panel of 7 men and 7 women, when they are pared down to 12. They'll be asked to decide if they all believed that Tella stabbed, slashed, and unalived longtime Las Vegas Review-Journal reporter Jeff German. The two, the two that are not picked will be alternates. So if there comes up that there was some jury misconduct or anything like that, or someone gets sick, or maybe they just need, someone in there. No, he was actually a politician for Las Vegas. Let's see. I'm not crazy. I'm not trying to avoid responsibility, told them Friday to end his second and final round of self-guided testimony before the prosecution and defense rested their case. I didn't kill Mr. German. I'm innocent. Tells is accused of plotting to unalive German, 69, a respected journalist who spent 44 years covering crime, courts, and corruption in Las Vegas, after German authored several articles for the Las Vegas Review-Journal about the county office in turmoil under his leadership. Let's see here. Those stories include allegation of Tellis having a romantic relationship with a female employee, which he admitted Thursday that was true. German was working on another report about a relationship, when he was killed. Now, Tellis, 47, is an attorney who practiced civil law before he was elected in 2018. His law license was suspended following his arrest several days after German was killed, and he lost his 2022 Democratic primary bid for a second elected term and derided German and the Review-Journal on social media afterwards. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that because, oh dear gosh, that is gonna be funny. I think Mo is gonna have, some thoughts on that, but I only saw bits and portions, but didn't he take off his shoes to show that he really isn't as tall as he thought he is? Yeah, look, already totally showing sociopathic signs if you wanna take your shoes off in a public area. That's a no-go. If I'm on the jury, you try to take your shoes off to show me anything, I'm gonna have to raise my hand. Your Honor, I could be biased about a lot of things, but this dude just done took off his shoes. He's trying to infect me with his gross feet, and I will have to charge him guilty. Ah. Oh, well, that makes it so he claims he wears lifts in his shoes so the person on the video can't be him. You can't fault that logic. I'm actually a manlet. That guy on there is tall and strapping. Let's see here. I wasn't happy about them, told the prosecutor, Christopher Hamner, referring to the articles. I don't know that I ever hated him. Tellis will face up or life in prison if he's found guilty. Jurors have been attentive throughout the trial, watching Tellis in the witness box for 2 days. He spoke softly and said he's been waiting 2 years in jail to tell his story, shifted his seat, rested his chin on one hand, then the other, then rambled haltingly from topic to topic and denial to denial. Uh, yeah, he, look, the only thing I can figure deep down, he knows they have him dead to rights. This is his final time to feel like a big shot for the next 20 years where he's just going to be in Gen Pop. Now, now we've seen a lot of people like this with their general inability to realize how badly this sort of attitude plays to a room. Think Shanda Vander Ark. I mean, that woman honestly thought she did a good job testifying until the state got in there. You know, you've seen Rodney Alcala, the actual game show killer. He tried to be his own lawyer. You had Ted Bundy. These people cannot read the room. If he's angling for more than getting one more chance to bloviate and have people actually have to listen to him, and he actually thinks he has a chance to persuade people with, everyone's just mean to me, no shot. He absolutely just wants to take this final time to be in charge because he's not going to be in charge any other time. But that would also possibly go back to deal with maybe that you can't read the room. Yeah. Look, some people can't read rooms, and we should help these people by shaming them when they're coming off as terrible. It's like Sarah Boone, who can't seem to understand for the life of her how her life always seems to understand or always seems to descend into this, level of chaos. And she's the only common denominator, but definitely it's not her fault. Now, so I will have to look at him, testifying for himself, but he named office colleagues, real estate agents, business owners that he blamed for framing him. Now, if he were the mayor of the town, sure, but he was in charge of people getting their inheritances, basically. His office was just, you know, there to make sure that, hey, this person is unalived. Okay, we're the first step in probate stuff. Okay, well, yeah, we need to get all these sort of things. Just absolute, yeah. Well, Gen Pop mothers are generally a little bit more hands-on and not so gentle parenting as Mo is. So maybe he'll learn from a Gen Pop Den House mom. Unfortunately, with a lot of the rain and things that have been going on, uh, what they were worried about did come to pass. Landslides have hit an Alaskan city, unaliving one person, and mandatory evacuations have been ordered. So last week, I believe that there were evacuations because of unprecedented rain and sort of thaw and runoff. There were dams and levees that were looking to possibly be overflown, or landslides that were unfortunately a possibility, and one has happened. At least one person was killed and several others were injured in a landslide that hit the Alaskan coastal city of Ketchikan on Sunday, according to officials who have ordered mandatory evacuations over the potential of additional landslides. City officials said in a statement that the landslide occurred about 4 p.m., damaging multiple homes. The 3rd Avenue bypass, 2nd Avenue, 1st Avenue, and White Cliff Avenue have all been affected. The city declared a disaster emergency, stating in the declaration that the landslide has forced road closures and caused flooding. Ketchikan Gateway Borough Mayor Rodney Dial said that in his 65 years, he's never seen a slide of this magnitude. So I'm glad that they are taking it seriously, um, and really trying to get people out of harm's way. The officials said one person was killed and three others were hospitalized with injuries suffered from the slide. Of those injured, only one person has been released from the hospital as of late Sunday. Quote, friends with a heavy heart, we relay that a landslide in the city has taken a life, caused several injuries, damaged homes, and impacted our community, Dial said in a statement. As we work through this, please give the affected families your thoughts and prayers. City officials are warning over the potential of other landslides and have ordered mandatory evacuation of some of the residents. An emergency shelter has been erected and stocked with supplies at the high school. Governor Mike Dunleavy of Alaska said Sunday late that he's declared a disaster declaration and directed all state agencies to provide the city with whatever assistance is needed. With posting pictures online of utility poles that have been toppled and by tons of earth and felled trees, local KPU Electric said the landslide has caused power outages in the city, and many homes and business had their power restored by 8 p.m., but those without electricity will remain that way until the landslide is cleared. So I'm glad that they're putting everyone on notice and trying to be proactive. Unfortunately, sometimes when they say, "Hey, it looks really likely that this is going to happen," it unfortunately comes to pass, and you can't figure out exactly where a landslide is gonna come down, or maybe you can, I don't know. I'm not mathematically knowledgeable about those kind of things, but I'm sure you can model it. But, hopefully they can get things back together and figure it out and make these towns more safe because I want to go live in Alaska. And if you keep sending scary Alaska stories, Mr. Mo will say no to us moving there. And I'll be sad. And no one wants me to be sad. In our final story, look, you guys, I may have the palate of a 12-year-old, but even I know that's not a real watermelon. I mean, even I can detect the fake watermelonness of that somewhat square watermelon. Uh, Crystal, disguised as a shipment of watermelon seized at U.S. Mexico border in San Diego. I mean, look, that's if Laffy Taffy invented a fruit. That is a watermelon if Laffy Taffy is in charge of our agriculture now. A truckload of meth, disguised as a shipment of watermelons, was seized at the US Mexico border crossing in San Diego. The crystal was valued at more than $5 million and was found on August the 16th when cargo aboard a tractor trailer from Mexico was unloaded for a detailed inspection. I mean, they only got, I swear they had, oh, pictures are this way, Mo. I mean, you can't tell the difference. Those are just albino crystal watermelons. Who did this packing? Come on now. They can make dupes at the Dollar Tree better than this. What is going on here? I mean, among real watermelons, officers said they found 1,220 packages wrapped in paper colored to look like watermelon skins. Someone needs to fire your art department. The total weight of the packages amounted to 4,587 pounds of the crystal. The truck driver was turned over to Homeland Security investigations. Okay, who thought this was gonna fly? Who was like, "No, Javier, they'll never tell the difference. I promise you." Someone's cousin got a job. Like, look, you have to hire Aunt Tito or Aunt Tina's son Tito, but he's a moron. Just let him color the watermelons. He'll do fine. He'll do fine. Well, there you go. In a world full of watermelons, you sparkle like one of these fake watermelons. Oh, you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure your watermelon, just knock on it a little bit. Make sure it's not solid next time you go to watermelon or you go to Walmart in the watermelon section. I mean, I need Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys and Nancy Grace. Because this is discrimination. Those watermelons want to be watermelon. Oh, Lord. You guys have a wonderful morning. I will be working today on getting a new sort of set of videos out. I will be taking Am I the Butthole and Reddit things and agony ants, and we will be just taking one or two questions a video, and I will be giving you Mo's advice for life. I would take all of that with as much salt as you can find, but, I figured it would be funny, and then I'll be working on the shorts of the, Man Bun, The Ballad of Man Bun, and I Work with the Dead, so find a living doctor. So be on the lookout for those. I will be getting newsy nuggets out as well. And then I will see you tonight for nightly newsy news, and it will be all good. I should have gotten my entire case of the Mondays worked out by then and be a functional human being, at least 50% wise. Hope you guys have a great day. I am sending you off to Baker so you guys can get the closing arguments on the Telus case, and we can try to figure out how long verdict watch is going to be. I'm guessing 4.5 hours. That's my vote for today. 4.5 hours. I think it's going to be shorter than Karen Reed, but not as short as it could be. Bye, guys.